Sam Wu is not afraid of ghosts. Chapter 8. Chapter 8. Lights Out. At the dinner table, Bernard and Zoe were staring at their plates, their mouths slightly open. "Where did your dad put the duck's head?" Bernard whispered to me. "We don't eat the head," I whispered back. "Why would anyone do that?" Bernard stared at me blankly. "How would I know? I don't want to eat it. I just want to know where it went." Which word means the same as looked? Pause the video now to write your answer. "Sam, this doesn't look like cake," Zoe whispered, poking her turnip cake with a chopstick. "And can I have a fork?" Dinner was not going well. "Just try it," I whispered back. "This is Sam's favourite meal," my mum said, smiling at us. She hadn't heard all the whispering. "I hope you like it." "I hope I like it too," said Bernard. He didn't sound very optimistic. "Any chance you also have chicken nuggets?" Why do Bernard and Zoe ask if they have chicken nuggets? Pause the video now to write your answer. "Bernard!" Zoe kicked Bernard under the table. Then she looked up at my parents. "But do you?" I'd made a huge mistake. I should have known better than to invite my friends over to my house. What if they thought I was Sam Woozer now too? I looked down at my delicious turnip cake. "How about I make you a deal?" my dad said, leaning forwards. "If you try the duck and don't like it, I'll order pizza." "What about this thing?" said Zoe, poking her turnip cake again. "Let's just start with the duck," my dad said. "I'll get you both forks." "You don't know how to use chopsticks?" Lucy said, her eyes wide. "Not everyone knows how to use chopsticks, Lucy," I said. This was just getting worse and worse. At least I didn't need to worry about Nana saying anything embarrassing. She was tired, so she'd already gone to bed. Bernard and Zoe stared down at their plates. "Maybe on the count of 3? I suggested. "That always works on space blasters." "All right," said Bernard. "Okay," said Zoe. 1, 2, 3. Zoe picked up the tiniest bit of duck with her fork and put it in her mouth. She chewed and chewed and smiled. "It's actually pretty delicious," she said. "Really?" I said. "Really," she said. "Really," said Bernard, taking another bite. And that made me really, really happy. After dinner, we went into the living room to watch a new episode of Space Blasters. My mum even let us eat ice cream on the sofa. That evening had gone from a disaster to one of the best nights ever. "Okay," I said, bouncing on the couch. "That's Captain Jane." How do you think Sam is feeling right now? Why do you think that? Pause the video now to write your answer. "She looks cool," Zoe interrupted. "She is, and that's Five-Eyed Frank. He looks cool," Bernard butted in. "Yes, he is. They are all cool. Now, like I said, their ship is called Tubbs." "Like your bike?" "Yes, like my bike. Now, please listen so I can explain everything so you can understand." I explained how on the last episode of Space Blasters, the crew thought that they had defeated the Ghost King, but at the very end he came back. I told them the Ghost King was the trickiest and most terrifying bad guy ever. The new episode opens with Captain Jane driving Tubbs. "Spaceman Jack, do you hear that?" said Captain Jane. "Hear what?" said Spaceman Jack. Captain Jane pointed above them. "That sound. I've never heard it before." "Oh, it's probably just Tubbs acting up again. Knock it off, Tubbs," said Spaceman Jack as he elbowed the wall of the spacecraft. "That is not me," said Tubbs in his robotic voice. "And it isn't me," said Five-Eyed Frank, his mouth full of space worms and cheese. "Chew with your mouth closed, Frank," said Spaceman Jack. Then all the lights went out on Tubbs. It was just like when I was in the Astro Blaster simulator. "Oh no!" said Captain Jane. "You know what that means." "The Ghost King is back," said Five-Eyed Frank. His jaw dropped open and a few space worms climbed out. Just then, the TV sparked, and... Oh no. Who was driving Tubbs at the beginning of the episode? Pause the video now to write your answer. Just then, the TV sparked, and all the lights in the house went out. "Ah!" yelled Zoe. "Ah!" yelled Bernard. "Mom!" I yelled. My mum came running in. "Calm down, we just blew a fuse. The lights will be on in a few minutes," she said. "Here, I'll light some candles." She put a candle on the table and then left. How long would it take for the lights to come back on? Pause the video now to write your answer. The three of us sat around the candle. It flickered and cast shadows on the wall. Then I heard it, a scratching, clanking sound, right above our heads. A sound very similar to one we had just heard on Space Blasters. "Can you hear that?" I whispered. "Hear what?" Bernard whispered back. Bernard isn't great at whispering, so it came out just as loud as his normal voice. "Shh, I can't hear anything," said Zoe. The scratching, clanking sound happened again. This time it was even louder and closer. "What is that?" Zoe said, but before she could finish her sentence, the candle went out. I knew what it was. "It's the Ghost King," I said. "He's back." Where was the scratching and clanking noise coming from? Pause the video now to write your answer. To be continued.